Nitwitchings. Alright, dudes, I feel like we're running out of time, so we're gonna throw caution to the wind. And you guys want to see one of the reasons why I think AOC is a Fed and why everyone's a Fed? Just everyone is. But the next chapter of Hidden Histories by Donald Jeffries is called The 60s. Fall. Wasn't just an admiral, however, he was the commander of American naval forces during the Gulf of Tonkin incident in 1964. Dude, come on baby, light my Vietnam fire. That's what this song is about. Come on, brother. Hell yeah. Dude, everyone's a fucking Fed. Prepare for your entire heart to be broken and get over it, because we're moving on, we're moving forward with each other. That's all we'll ever need, okay? Remember yesterday when I mentioned that 4 days after JFK died, President Johnson signed National Security Action Memorandum 273, which was in diametrical opposition to JFK's NSAM 263, while Kennedy's body was still warm in his grave. When LBJ's signature changed future U.S. direction in Vietnam, NSAM 273 had, incredibly enough, actually been drafted on November 21st, 1963, while Kennedy was still alive. Yeah, so what does that mean? Well, that means that LBJ must have had some idea, possibly, about what was going to happen the next day. Come on, Miss Loudmouth. What do you got? Yeah, that's what you had to say. Talk to the people. They don't care about me. They care about you. Ew, don't lick my microphone, you weirdo. I'll lick your head. Say what you want to say. Come on. And then be done with it, because you're not getting another can of food. It's 12:30 at night, you lunatic. You're a terrible co-host. Come on, say your last thing. What? Come on, say it. Chicken? There she is. The popper. Lolly Popper's doing poppers. Crazy cats. The Gulf of Tonkin wasn't the first false flag of the decade. In 1962, the CIA had attempted to convince the Kennedy administration to approve a maniacal plan called Operation Northwoods. The plan proposed that a series of terrorist attacks be carried out in the United States that would subsequently be blamed against Cuba. The agency was still reeling from the disastrous Bay of Pigs fiasco the year before. Kennedy took the blame for the failed attempts at ousting Fidel Castro, despite his own strong reservations about it and the fact the entire operation was planned during the Eisenhower administration and totally controlled by the CIA. JFK reacted strongly to disaster by firing the top CIA official at the time, Allen frickin' Dulles. Allen Dulles then decided to do a coup with Mossad, apparently. Probably the LDS and the FBI, the oil men, the frickin' military guys, because if JFK wants to stop all wars, then they aren't going to have a job. Aw, shucks. The oil men, they gotta divvy up all of the natural resources. Anyway, they're psychos, they're psychopaths, they're crazy. Look, Operation Northwoods represented the CIA at its most out of control state. By the early 60s, the CIA had turned into a truly renegade outfit whose activities seemed anything but traditional or patriotic. Dude, look, dudes, there's sometimes that I say stuff that's like, haha funny, but then most of the time, what I'm saying has some truth to it. Like, a master of psychological psyops, Lansdale once devised a plan to plant a submarine just off the coast of Cuba, where it would perform a fantastic light show in the night skies, creating an illusion of the second coming of Jesus Christ. Dude, I could see them doing that. I bet this is what they do. It's either that or they're going to take out all the bridges and the tunnels or something into Manhattan, which, like, hey, guess what? You do me a favor. No one ever wants to go in Manhattan, honestly. So, do it, feds. See if we care. We'll frickin' swim across. We'll never go there. Who cares? None of us go there. Dude, total by coincidence, the CIA also, they said that maybe we should kill a bunch of innocent Americans. Maybe we should throw a couple planes at a couple buildings. Yeah, that was in Operation Mongoose or Operation Northwoods. See where they get it? Do you see where they get it? This is why we know that this is what they're going to do. It's because this is all they know how to do. And then TikTok doesn't want you to see it, but I made a whole entire 10-minute video just about LBJ and these couple pages here yesterday. It's pretty funny. I think it only let like 300 people see it, but go back a couple videos. It says, LBJ did what now? That's the name of the video. All right, babies, we've arrived at the important part. As the war in Vietnam began to escalate in the mid-1960s, organized opposition arose all over the country. Does that sound familiar to anyone? While the public would become either enamored with or annoyed by radical leaders of our counterculture. Movements such as Jerry Rubin and Abby Hoffman, a truly independent researcher, Chicago, Sherman Slotnick, began to look seriously into their backgrounds. Slotnick would claim in a later report that a high-profile leaders of the movement like Rubin, Hoffman, Tom Hayden, and Rennie Davis had actually been funded by establishment think tanks like the Carnegie Foundation and Institute for Policy Studies, as well as government agencies like the Office of Economic Opportunity. The notion that anti-government radicals were being financed by the government was a real eye-opener. Yes, dude, and think about it. This has always been their play. This has always been their play, guys. Forever and always. Infiltrate. Give them their options. Here's your option, A or A. You can have it my way or my way. Whatever you want. Slotnick specifically charged that Tom Hayden, husband of actress Jane Fonda, was a counterinsurgent, posing as a radical revolutionary. He maintained that Tom Hayden had one of the highest security clearances in the country. I believe it. There's not much that I won't believe anymore. Dude, and then even the attorney for the Chicago 7. The attorney for the Chicago 7 was a well-known leftist, William Kunstler. According to Slotnick, Kunstler was formerly been an officer with the OSS, the predecessor of the CIA. That's Alan Dulles' shit. That's where Alan Dulles was chilling before they decided to do CIA. Before they got their big idea to spend, let's just control everyone by spending all the money. Fucking jackass. Even though Kunstler defended, like, you know, objectionable people, he didn't seem to like the Kennedys, dude. And guys, the Kennedys have been slandered your entire lives. Everything after JFK died, their job was to slander him and make him seem like a bad person. And that he was like a dirtbag. Who cares if he like was a philanderer? Everyone was then. He wanted to literally stop war. Like, that's pretty chill. And he had no reason to. He came from like a criminal background, you know, his dad. His dad was one of those like, you know, gangster dudes or whatever. But like, he had no reason to care about people, and he tried, and look what the frick happened to him. You know. But anyways, freaking Kunstler, he didn't like JFK because conservatives don't like JFK. Because JFK liked black people. We know what conservatives think. But yeah, Kunstler said he wasn't entirely upset by the Kennedy assassination. Isn't that fucked up? I think it's pretty fucked up that you would kill, like, he was like the only American patriot that worked in the government ever. I know he did some bad shit, but like, compared to the others, you know what I mean? But yeah, they all hated him, and that's because they're all cuckoo. And then look, man, they wiped out the rest. That Kennedy family is cursed, but not by like a witch or anything. It's cursed by I-word. They just sacrificed them. You know, Hillary became senator of New York because a couple months before the election, JFK Jr. crashed his freaking plane into water, dude. What a fucking idiot. Dumbass. Dude, he's the dumbest person ever. What an idiot. This is what he said. What I meant to say was that, in retrospect, from what I know about the violent excesses of the Kennedy administration, the Bay of Pigs invasion, the foreign assassination plots, the deployment of the first troops in Vietnam, I am glad they are not around. God knows what would have happened if they had stayed in power. Do you see that? Do you see that reversing of history? Do you see it now? This is what they've been doing since JFK, dude. Like, this is the norm now, is to get lied to. Lied right into your face. Kunstler's blatant hatred of the Kennedys brings up a curious point about the anti-war establishment movement of the 60s. Why didn't any of those radicals talk about the JFK assassination? Why has everyone been saying, ever since I've been alive, oh, if you think about the JFK assassination, you're crazy. Dude, fucking Adam Savage did. I believe that the JFK assassination stuff was phooey because of Adam Savage for way longer than I should have because I trusted him and I shouldn't have. I'm stupid for it and I'll never do it again. But these people are paid liars. And you can tell that they're paid liars because they're on TV. Remember that guy, Mick George Bundy, that I was talking about? That jackass? Mick George Bundy had been JFK's national security advisor, and he played the same role in the Johnson administration. Bundy has long been a suspect in many critics' eyes. As noted earlier, he drafted NSAM 273, which contradicted JFK's express policy in Vietnam. Day before the assassination, on November 22nd, 1963, the day of the assassination, Bundy informed the members of JFK's cabinet, who were in the air at the time of the assassination, en route to a meeting in Hawaii, that it had already been established there was no conspiracy in the shooting of the president. Case closed. We got him, boys. We're not going to investigate it. I saw it was that guy. Bundy left LBJ in 1966 to become president of the Ford Foundation. Duh. And I think this part is important with defining Bundy as a very special type of elitist part of a certain breed of men whose continuity is to themselves, a line to each other, and not the country. This is who these people think they owe their loyalty to, is each other. The Yale skull and bones dork-ass losers. That is who they owe their loyalty to. They don't think of themselves as Americans. You know what I mean? I mean, they do, but they're like, it's just us, these couple white people. That's it. They don't think like, oh, we should uplift everyone in America. That's what a real country would do. No. They say only people who went to Yale because, dude, Yale sucks. That school sucks. Everyone who ever went to Yale sucks. And they're all apparently P words, it looks like. I mean, come on. Look at yourselves, dog. But anyway, guess what? The Ford Foundation, they paid, what was it, eight staff members of RFK $150,000. What was it? 2 days after? 2 days after RFK was assassinated. That's JFK's brother. I didn't say JFK, I said RFK. Oh, because if you guys don't know, JFK, the president of the United States, who got his head blowed off, his brother also got his frickin', well, I don't think he got his head blowed off, but you know what I mean? Yep. The luck. And then his frickin' son, too, who was running against Hillary Clinton. Damn. See, unexplained outlay of funds, Ford Foundation gave $131,069 to 8 members of the staff of late Senator RFK on November 8th, 1968. He died on November 6th. These guys are funny, right? They're like, oh, we gotta get the checks out the door. When I say everyone's a Fed, I mean everyone is a Fed. CIA Director William Colby would later state, the CIA owns everyone of any significance in the major media, and now they own everyone of any significance in the internet media. Everyone. Except for me, biatch. Aldous Huxley, weirdo, apparent Satanist, whose grandpa was a frickin' Rhodes Roundtable founder and longtime collaborator with establishment British historian Arnold Toynbee. It's Arnold Toynbee to you. Toynbee headed the research division of British intelligence during World War II and was a brief officer to Winston Churchill. Aldous Huxley was tutored at Oxford by novelist H.G. Wells, a well-known advocate of world government. Do you guys see how the world is not as big as you think it is? Because it's not. I promise you, it is not as freaking big as you think it is. These people are all buddies. They're all chummy. It's gross. They all only want themselves to be around, which is so weird because even, like, they can't even see that once they get rid of all of us and they're just going to have each other to eat. Freaks. Huxley's brother Julian was a prominent evolutionary biologist and a founding member of the World Wildlife Foundation. He was also the first director of UNESCO. Notoriously, he was the president of British Eugenics Society from 1959 to 62. Like the rest of the eugenicist peers, Huxley's distaste for the common folk could be found in his public utterances. Like so many of his ilk, he longed for a single world culture. He once said that intelligence testing had determined that only 10 to 20% of the population are capable of profiting by a university course. That feels like something Elon Musk would say, honestly. And Bill Gates. I think he feels, to me, personally, like a eugenicist, you know? Not saying that he is, but to myself, it feels like him and his dad seem like eugenicists, in my opinion. That's it. Would anyone who claims to be a leftist say that all men are equal is a proposition which, at ordinary times, no sane individual has ever given his assent? That sounds like the opposite of what I say. Lyndon LaRouche alleged that he was also in several cults devoted to ISIS and other cult gods. Dudes, do you guys see it? Are you seeing it now? We're all seeing it, right? It's everywhere. America is the cult. This place was made to be a cult. We fucking found ourselves inside of a cult. God damn it. Dude, Huxley fucked with this dude, Dr. Humphrey Osmond, who was connected via Alan Dulles to the CIA's notorious Monkey Ultron mind control program. Okay. Dude, they participated in the LSD things. And see, the LSD, the proposal would later turn into a 4-year experiment sponsored by the Rand Corporation, a front for the CIA, like funded by the Ford Foundation. Dude, the CIA is the one who pumped everyone full of LSD to try and brain control them, to get them to stop. And look, they did. They brain controlled them into a bunch of capitalist zombies. Idiots. They're such idiots. Truly, such morons. I hate all the hippies with a burning passion. They're such cowards. They didn't do shit. And they couldn't sniff out a Fed to save their fucking lives. They didn't have the internet. Still, fuck them. Dude, all their musicians are Feds. Look, they were just handing out LSD to everyone like candy. They handed out LSD they experimented on mental patients with LSD in Palo Alto. The writer of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest would later lead a radical Merry Pranksters group, but they handed out LSD all over. They introduced the Hells Angels to LSD. Kesey's cult handed out so much LSD in San Francisco that it was probably directly responsible for transforming the Haight-Ashbury district into the epicenter of the flower power movement. And then what'd they do? Nothing. Dude, Charles Manson was a frickin' informant, and that's all tied to these weird monkey Ultron experiments and shit, bro. Like, they literally were like, we can drug all these morons until they're slaves. That was their plan, and that's what they did, bro. Look, Huxley was associated with this dude, Dr. Louis Joylin West, who killed an elephant by injecting it with LSD. What a psycho. And of course, where'd he come from? Monkey Ultron. He allegedly treated Charles Manson, Sirhan, and the Branch Davidian cult leader David Koresh. Renegade former FBI official Ted Gunderson also claimed that West visited Timothy McVeigh in prison on multiple occasions. West was a director of the Cult Awareness Network, which has been associated with the CIA's MKUltra program. West was a protege of Dr. Ewan Cameron, who performed countless hideous brainwashing experiments on patients during the height of the Cold War. I'm so tired, guys. Now, guys, listen to this. Aldous Huxley, in a bizarre coincidence, died on November 22nd, 1963, the same day JFK died. But he said, Huxley issued this bleak forecast. There will be, in the next generation or so, a pharmacological method of making people love their servitude and producing dictatorship without tears, so to speak, producing a kind of painless concentration camp for entire societies so that people will, in fact, have their liberties taken away from them, but will rather enjoy it because they will be distracted from any desire to rebel, propaganda, or brainwashing enhanced by pharmacological methods. And this seems to be the final revolution. No, the final revolution is the awakening. It's cracking out of the matrix. It's saying, no, we're not working 5 out of 7 days a week for you, you lunatics. What are you talking about? No. You mad cow disease having nerds? No. And when I say everyone, apparently it's everyone. Now, I bet that there are some people that got money from these, because they would do them as programs, like the NEC was the National Endowment thing or whatever, or NEP, I forget what it was called. So I'm sure some people were getting funds and didn't know better, or didn't know until after. I think that maybe that's probably how they get some influencers and shiz now, But So some of the people that are tied to this are Stokely Carmichael, Angela Davis, and Timothy Leary, that Harvard professor. Of course he was. Of course he was. He went to frickin' Harvard. Fucking Harvard. Gross. Ugh. Dude, Timothy Leary's such a frickin' Fed. He went to frickin' West Point. He's like friends with General Douglas MacArthur, like family friends. Dude. Then he like got in trouble at school and his frickin' mommy called. Like, yeah, Timothy Leary, also a bitch. They're all fucking bitches. They all are cowards. Dude, there's a lady, this dude, Cord Meyer, like got his frickin', his wife died. She was having an affair with JFK and then was murdered in October 1964. And supposedly her diary had juicy government secrets in it, but it was burned by frickin' James Jesus Angleton, that lunatic. Dude, now looking back at everything, like, look at this frickin' Fed, Timothy Leary. Leary had stated that he didn't find anything wrong with the CIA's experimentation of LSD on unwitting subjects. He also chastised Bauer for promoting conspiracy theories and writing about government corruption. During a rambling, often contradictory tape with Bauer, he explained at one point, "I like the CIA." He said, "I proceeded as an intelligence asset since 1962. I wanted my side to win the war." What side was that? The Satanists? You lunatic? You frickin' lunatics? You're all crazy. Yes, I was a willing agent of the CIA. How embarrassing. How disgusting. Who could live with themselves at night if they said that? All right, put your fucking dukes up because Gloria Steinem is the queen of all feds, bro. Counterculture icon feminist leader Gloria Steinem had a similar establishment background. She was supposedly raised at abject poverty in Ohio, but somehow she managed to attend the elite Smith College. Steinem was awarded the Chester Bowles Student Fellowship to study abroad in India. In a very odd twist, it appears that she was the first and only recipient of the otherwise unheard of award. In 1958, Cord Meyer appeared on the scene to place her in charge of an activist group called Independent Research Service. The group was a part of Cord Meyer's Congress for Cultural Freedom Creation, which sponsored leftist magazines to counter Marxism. Steinem declared that she approved of the CIA. Steinem also dated Henry fucking Kissinger. Gloria Steinem dated Henry Kissinger. Yep, that Henry Kissinger. He's the only one. Yup, she dated him. She had intercourse with Henry Kissinger. That frickin' weird Nancy. Dude, that guy had to have been a Nancy, right, at this point? Right? I mean, he talked like a German supervillain, right? Is it racist to be stereotype Nancys? Let me know in the comments. Steinem's magazine Miss also benefited from substantial CIA funding. Dude, this is so awesome. The rock stars and young actors who began congregating together in one particular part of a Southern California. Nearly all these popular performers came from families with military intelligence backgrounds. Of special interest are all the unnatural deaths connected in some way to these famous entertainers. And yeah, guys, everyone is a fucking FBI informant. I'd say people like Diddy look like FBI informants. People like Jay-Z. I'm just saying people like them, not them. People like them might be informants, you know? But look, Black Liberation Front was arrested for trying to blow up the Statue of Liberty. 3 of the members were arrested. The 4th was an undercover cop who drew up the plans and used police funds to pay for the dynamite. In 1965, 13 Black Panthers charged with plotting to bomb public places reportedly obtained 60 sticks of dynamite from an FBI informant. I'm pretty sure that was Assata Shakur, right? 1970, a New York detective had been charged in the Bronx office of the Black Panthers and served with them longer than any of those who eventually testified against at trial. 1971, Malcolm X's personal bodyguard, who tried to resuscitate him after he was shot, was a New York detective who'd been working undercover for 7 years. Fred Hampton, the Black Panther who was shot and killed by the Chicago police and the FBI, had a paid informer who was also head of security for the Panthers as his personal bodyguard too, and then Fred Hampton was killed by them. Civil rights worker was murdered, Viola Luizzo, by the Ku Klux Klan for following the 1965 marches from Selma to Montgomery, Alabama. One of the Klan members riding in the car with which the shots were fired was FBI informant Gary Rowe. The imperial wizard of the true knights of the Ku Klux Klan in Texas was Robert Leslie Spencer Jr. He was a longtime informant for the FBI and other agencies. FBI had undercover sting operation called PATCON, which included getting up its own fictional white supremacist group. Yeah, fictional, my dick. But yeah, dude, all these feds, all these nasty, filthy informants, they all need to repent. Y'all need to start repenting. Y'all need to get the good book, Hidden History. Get the good book and y'all need to read it. Y'all need to read the Lord's word and repent, you sinners. Repent, you Joseph Smith lovers. Repent. Repent, you Brigham Young lovers. Not young lovers. You can't have young lovers, you weirdos. Y'all gotta repent. Y'all are sinners. Y'all polygamous sinners. But yeah, dude, all these frickin' people, if you see them willingly and you're not scraping to hear from them, they're a fed. Most likely. Harry, everyone. Dude, AOC. There's no way at this point, if AOC was real, she would be like, hey, Cori Bush, let's go fucking nuts on this progressive shit. We don't need the Democrats because we have the people. But they don't do that. And why is that? It's because I think Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez works for the Central Intelligence Agency. Bet. Sue me. Why else wouldn't she talk, bro? Why? Why else? She has a microphone in front of her at all times. And she can't talk? She can't say, well, the reason nothing really happens is because, actually, our government truly is invaded by a bunch of baby-eating lunatics who believe that they're gonna summon Lucifer by cutting the throat of a red cow or some shit in I-word, and then they're gonna do white America. Dude, if AOC got on TV and said that, oh, man, I would be like, yeah, let's go! I'd be like, AOC, she's not a fed. But until that day, what is she, guys? What is she, boys? What is it, my boys? Read the good book. Y'all need to repent, y'all dirty sinners. You don't need to read a frickin' book to know what's right and wrong, you dummies. You guys are so weird. If you can talk yourself into thinking that there's any reason to kill people and that you will get in heaven, you are a lunatic and you're in a cult. If you say to yourself, but yeah, if you ever think to yourself, or you're told by, like, you know, the Grand Wizard of the LDS or whatever, that you just gotta kill these couple more artists, you just gotta take out one more Kurt Cobain, one more Bourdain, you know, one more Chester, one more Michelle McNamara, one more, I don't know, all the other people that one more Princess Diana, one more, who else? Everyone, dude, everyone. They've killed all of them. I truly think so at this point. There's no Heath Ledger. We gotta examine Heath Ledger. I bet he wasn't down for figuring out some of the secrets about Hollywood, because he seemed kind of like a sweet guy, but maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, anyway, guys, no idols, no leaders, no heroes. Come here, Fergie. Fergie's probably gonna go to his foster tomorrow, but he's a good boy. I love this boy. He's a good boy. If anyone wants to adopt a really good cat, let me know. Fergosaurus Rex. Okay, bye. No idols. AOC is a fed, in my opinion. So are all of them. Cori Bush. All of them. I don't know. Y'all don't need the Democrats. You have the people if you would say things that were good. But you don't. And that's because I-word owns you somehow. Maybe they got compromat on you. Or maybe they got a little blackmail on you. Or maybe you like the taste of adrenochrome too.